Have you ever felt like your life has become a constant notification, buzzing, ringing, screaming, a noise you cannot turn off? Like you're trapped in a mind that refuses to rest, where each moment carries the weight of 100 regrets, 1,000 fears, and a silent despair that speaks louder than any scream. Dear seekers, this was not just your story. This was the story of Eckhart Tolle. He wasn't in a monastery. He wasn't chanting mantras in the Himalayas. He wasn't surrounded by enlightened saints. He was in a small room, nearly 30, consumed by depression. The nights were endless shadows. The days were heavier than time. His mind had become a battlefield, and the enemy wore his own face. Every breath was a burden. Every thought was a wound. But then came that night, that sacred, terrible night. He sat on the edge of his bed, crushed by the unbearable, and from the center of that pain, a whisper rose, "I cannot live with myself any longer." Have you ever felt that? That split inside you, one part gasping for air, the other watching from the shadows. And in that sacred sentence, something ancient stirred. If I cannot live with myself, who is the I that cannot live, and who is the self it cannot live with? This question was not intellectual. It was a shattering, a crack through which eternity poured in. In that moment, the mind dissolved, not with effort, not through any spiritual technique, but like ice melting in sunlight. The thinker disappeared, and what remained was silence, vast, unending, alive. And in that silence, he awoke. When dawn came, his room was transfigured. A simple glass on the table shimmered like a holy relic. A chair glowed as if made of light. Everything was the same, and yet everything was different. Because he was different, not as a personality, not as a man with a better mindset, but as presence itself. He stepped out into the world, and the world sang. The breeze didn't just move, it danced. A leaf didn't just fall, it revealed the infinite. Every moment had become a miracle, not because the world changed, but because the illusion of separation had died. This was not mystical poetry. This was truth experienced. For months he wandered in this perfect stillness, no identity, no name, no ambition, just being. Just this. He sat on park benches. Birds landed near him. Strangers felt something radiant in his presence, like a lighthouse that never spoke, but still guided ships home. Dear ones, this is not his story alone. This is your possibility. Because right now, as you hear this, something in you is remembering. Something in you already knows what I'm speaking of. That sacred watcher inside you, the one that notices your breath, your worries, your hopes, that is not small. That is not a product of time. That is divine. That is infinite. That is you. So let's pause right now. Take a deep breath. Feel the air enter your body gently. Feel the exhales soften your chest. Now notice a thought. Any thought. Maybe it's about tomorrow. Maybe it's about the past. Now ask, who is watching this thought? Don't rush. Let the question echo. Who is watching? Stay there. In that awareness, that is not your mind. That is your true nature, silent, open, eternal. You don't need a tragedy to find this. You don't need to hit rock bottom. You don't need to renounce the world. You need only to remember what you are beneath the noise. And if sitting in silence feels daunting, Try this. Carry a small object, a stone, a coin, a ring, and hold it when your mind races. Let it anchor you to the present, a reminder of this moment's aliveness. Eckhart Tolle's awakening came in the ashes of despair. Yours may come in the stillness of a garden, or in a quiet room, just before dawn, or even now, because awakening is not an event. It's a remembering, a returning, a homecoming to your divine, conscious, infinite nature. What happened to Eckhart was not an escape, it was a return to what was always there, but had been drowned in thoughts, roles, identities. And eventually, the world came knocking. People began asking, "What do you have? How can we find this peace?" And he said something timeless, "It's already yours. Your mind is just too loud to feel it." So I ask you, what noise in your life is keeping you from this stillness? What thought, what story, what belief? Can you name it now and let it go like a feather floating into the sky? If naming it feels heavy, share it with a trusted friend or write it in a letter you'll never send. Release it into the universe's care. This is not theory. This is practice, and it begins today. Each morning, before your phone wakes up, before the world tugs at your sleeves, sit 5 minutes. Just sit. Watch your breath. Watch your thoughts. And when a thought comes, ask, "Who is aware?" Don't chase the answer. Just rest in the asking. And then write one word in a journal, a sacred word. Peace, light, stillness. Let that word be your compass for the day. If writing feels like a chore, whisper that word to yourself. Let it hum in your heart as you move through the world. Over time, this tiny ritual will become a doorway. Through it, presence will begin to shine through your days, not as a concept, but as a living reality. And when life pulls you back into chaos, pause for 10 seconds. Count your breaths, feel your feet on the ground. This micro practice will tether you to presence, no matter where you are. And one day, you will look back and realize you are not the storm, you are the sky. You are not the thought. You are the witness. You are not broken. You are the light that sees the brokenness and still loves it. So let this be your awakening, not to become something new, but to remember what was never lost. You are whole. You are infinite. You are divine. And in your stillness, the entire universe recognizes itself. And if doubt creeps in, remember this: every tradition, whether science mapping consciousness, psychology exploring mindfulness, or ancient wisdom, points to the same truth. Your essence is vast, unbroken, and already here. Trust that,